She is a famous church singer known for having a beautiful voice and singing spirituals in a way that makes people feel. Many people around the world have been moved by her strong faith and moving acts. In a sad turn of events, Randle is now facing an unimaginable loss in his own life. A lot of people are wondering how she'll even handle such a tough test of faith. What is this terrible event? We will let you know more about this sad story as we find it. It's just a God thing. It's something that I never dreamed of for myself. You couldn't have paid me any amount of money to believe that this would happen one day. It's hard to imagine that Lynda Randle, the famous church singer whose voice has moved millions, had the same problems that many of us do. Lynda's health problems hide her emotional performances, smile, and ability to make people feel better with every note. They have tested her strength and shown many of her fans a side of her that they have never seen, how weak she is. For a while before it all began, Lynda was having trouble. It was becoming clear to her that her health was getting worse and she could not sing as well as she used to. It was terrible for her because the best thing about her as a church artist was her singing. It made things even worse for Lynda that the doctors couldn't figure out what was making her sick. Her fans had always seen her as beautiful and strong, but they had no idea how much pain she was in her heart. For as long as she could, she hid her health problems. She didn't want anyone to see how weak she was. You go through in life, but they serve a purpose. And I know that I've grown through so many, and that God has promised that He would never leave us or forsake us, and He's with us. Like a mom would cradle her babe, or a dad would cradle his child during a tough storm. God cradles us till the storm passes by. Over time, though, the signs got worse. The stress made Lynda's health worse, which made it hard for her to do her job and live a normal life. Her faith and her family were there for her when things were tough. Her husband, Michael, and her children especially were there for her and loved her when things were tough. But there was still a lot of fighting going on. But I'm here. I went to a Christian school in the Maryland area, and I was kind of thrust into an all-white choir, and I was like the only chocolate kid in this choir. And they were singing these spirituals and songs, and one thing led to another, and they asked me to sing. After a series of my college days at Liberty University, I kind of hooked up with you guys. The Lord put us together. And I guess when you hang out with the Gaither folks, Bill, he can get you doing anything, things you thought you never would. I never would have dreamed. As a matter of fact, I still don't consider myself Southern gospel per se. On February 7th, 1962, she was born in Washington, D.C. Faith in Christ, singing, and hard work were very important to Lynda Tate Randle's family. Lynda was used to tough times because she grew up in a tough part of Washington, D.C. Because her family is very Christian, they showed her how important it is to have faith, stick with things, and be a part of society. They were both very religious and great musicians, so music has always been a part of her life. Lynda has always felt good about singing. When she was younger, she often joined the church band. This is where her singing of gospel music really took off. They would sing holy songs and hymns with her as a child. Not only did she learn how to play the instruments, but she also learned what the songs meant spiritually. Yeah, my dad, and I didn't even know this. Father, I know of him because Moody Broadcast did a story on Unshackled. He was, when I say like a gangster, like a gambler, a racketeer, just nuts. And he had a violent temper, and he was packing a gun a lot of times. And that's what I said. My father had a temper. My dad was the most patient, understanding, loving man. I just get swelled up with tears, and I can't even describe the relationship that I have with my father. There was more to Lynda's music than just pretty songs. It showed her faith and her desire to use music to comfort and give people hope. Her faith and love of music kept her on the right path, even though she grew up in a bad neighborhood. She knew other people were having a tough time, but she didn't give up. She helped herself and other people with her skills instead. She would use her gift for singing to fix herself and express herself many times over the course of her life. When Lynda was done with high school, she went to Liberty University in Lynchburg, Virginia. She got better at music and learned more about teaching there. It was very important for her to go to Liberty because it helped her get better at playing music and inspired her to use music to spread love, peace, and faith. By this time, she was sure that her singing and skills could make a difference in the world, especially in the Christian music business. I didn't tell anyone until I was almost 26. I was getting married or getting ready to get married, and I went to the doctor for checkups and other things. That's when it all came out. I broke down in tears as I told him everything. He was a Christian who went to our church, and I was like, wow, that just blew my mind. I had been hiding things all this time because people don't want to talk about it, so I never did. Did your parents know? No, they didn't. Neither did a close female family member. But even then, I thought about the person who did that and what happened to them. That's how God helped me see the whole thing. Not just someone woke up and said, I'm going to do this to you, but what happened to them? So even though I may have been a victim for a while, I'm now a victor. I'm walking in complete victory, healed, whole, and all of those things. I can meet people and talk to them, and God gives me that zero in, like, I kind of know where you are because of what I've been through. So it's cool that God is using my life. In the early 1990s, Lynda Randle's career took off when she joined the Gaither Homecoming series. At the time, the Gaither vocal band, led by Bill and Gloria Gaither, was one of the most well-known and respected church music groups. Lynda became famous after joining this group, and fans fell in love with her right away because of her warm, rich singing and her ability to give powerful, emotionally charged performances. When Lynda was on the Gaither Homecoming series, she got a lot of attention. People all over the U.S. and the world were mesmerized by her soulful singing and the deep emotion she brought to her shows. She quickly became one of the most popular gospel music singers. Her work with the Gaither vocal band grew her fame and made her a major star in the field. Lynda's career was shaped by more than just her work on the Gaither Homecoming series. She had a great solo career as well, releasing several albums that showed off her emotional and vocal range. In the world of religious music, songs like God on the Mountain, Take It One Day at a Time, and Stay Protected became classics. These songs helped her connect with her fans and made her a star in the industry. How long have you been singing, and how did you start? Well, I guess I was 16 or 17 when music kind of got into my brain. Tate family sang, and Mike Tate started singing later. But when I was sent to this Christian school, I was studying fashion design and cosmetology. As I joined the band, I was put in more and more competitions. Things kept going, but it wasn't until I was in college in Virginia that it turned into a service. I asked everyone in the show, would you pray for me? It was the simplest thing I could think of to say. I told myself, one day I want to be the best gospel singer in the world, and I will pray that God makes this happen. And I remember that one night when I went to pray in my dorm room, the Lord spoke to my spirit and told me, it's not as important that you be the best gospel singer as it is that you have my anointing on your life. That was the start of my concerts and churches all over the world. Lynda used her fame to help Christians understand and get along better with each other. She also did everything she could to bring people of different races and countries together through love and faith. Her music wasn't just fun to listen to. It helped people from all walks of life heal, find hope, and be inspired. Her family has always been there for her. She is married to preacher and musician Michael Randle and has 2 daughters, Joy and Patience. Being a wife, mother, and artist is all very important to Lynda, and she has always been honest about that. Her family helped her stay grounded and focused on her goals, even though her job was very demanding, but that yokes are broken and burdens are lifted and all those things happen. And I do meet people all the time, Gloria, that says, hey, how do you get with Bill Gaither? How do you get around this whole thing? I tell people, get with God, and God will get you with whoever he needs to get you with so that his will can be done in your life. I was going to pay you for 4 songs I sent you, and you said you'd make me a deal I couldn't refuse. If I knew it was going to be an album, I would have agreed much sooner. But after 4 songs, you said, hey, let me just finish this project. And I will never, you just have no idea a way through, since that's what it's called. He has always been there for her, both as a partner and a spiritual guide. Michael's strong faith and love for his family have helped Lynda get through the good and bad times in her life and work. Lynda's daughters, Patience and Joy, and her husband have brought her happiness and strength. They remind her of the love and faith she got from her mother. Despite the chaos at work, Lynda often talks about how important it is to stay close to her family because they help her stay calm and peaceful. Her family's support has been very important, especially since she has been through hard times like losing her mother. A lot of bad things have been said and thought about Lynda Randle because she is famous. The worst things have been about her health and the problems she's had in her personal life. Lynda has always been honest about how hard it is for her to deal with loss and sadness. But some newspaper stories have gone too far by saying that Lynda's health problems are linked to other more scandalous problems. Well, of course, because of Bill Geithner. We're on TV every day somewhere in the world, she said. I was amazed that so many people saw Bill's music and movies and knew the songs. When I got up to sing, they knew these songs too. I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. They were here with the Geithner vocal band, David Phelps, G. Pandra, and Larry Ford. If all of these return singers are coming now, why are they coming now? I don't know, but I think it's a God thing. Again, we didn't know that the music was so popular and loved because Bill's videos have reached so many people, and there are big groups of fans in Sweden, Norway, and nearby places like Ireland and Scotland. That's why we can come to your country and hang out. There's a story going around that Lynda's health problems were caused by her own problems, or maybe even her drug use. These stories have spread, even though Lynda has always been very religious and open about her grief and loss struggles. The rumors got stronger when Lynda shut down her social media during her health crisis. Her friends and the media made guesses, and Lynda's silence made the secret even bigger. Some people have even said that Lynda's recent health problems were caused by a personal loss that she hasn't talked about, which is added to the rumors. But Lynda has never said anything to support any of these claims. During this hard time, she has chosen to focus on her religion, her music, and her family. Recently, some people have been talking about Lynda's possible return to music after a long break. Fans have different thoughts on whether she is making a big comeback or her health has gotten so bad that she may never act again. Homecoming. What's homecoming all about? Could you briefly explain it? It's a love, friendship, and connections. The music brings us together. A lot of these songs you already know. Many people grew up with these songs, and I think that's what brings us together with our fans. Many new songs are great, but these old ones have something special about them. People say, I know those songs, when you sing songs like His Eyes on the Sparrow and What a Friend We Have in Jesus, it gets to the heart of the problem. This is why homecoming is just a party for us. The team has had you on it for how many years now? Oh my gosh, we've been on the road together for 13 years, but I first got to know them when we were kids. How did it begin? I met Gloria Gaither at a meeting for women in Arizona in 1989. There were about 2,000 women there. And she told them all, I love her and I want to take her home. But I thought, these stories have made her fans very angry, and many are wondering if Lynda will ever perform on stage again the way she did before. People make assumptions and spread stories about Lynda Randle, but her real strength is that she could keep going even when things get tough. This singer has shown over and over that she is dedicated to her faith and her goal of sharing love and hope through her music, no matter what. Lynda's friends are still there for her. They send her messages of love and support and pray that she gets better. Many people have been changed by Lynda's music and ministry. No matter what the future holds, her influence will live on. In the end, Lynda Randle's story shows how strong she is. Many people have found hope in her words, and she has used her own problems to get stronger. This is something that will keep inspiring people who follow her story. She probably says that to everyone, so I'm not going to believe her. And I really didn't believe her. But Gloria Gaither went home and told Bill Gaither about me. I was surprised and didn't believe it. I met Bill over the next 2 or 3 years. They asked me to come to the studio to work on music for the next 2 or 3 years. Yes, I said when Bill asked, can you come to a recording? I cried so hard the first time I went there that I could hardly look. I had no idea. These people were in the Gaither movies, but I only just learned about them now. But when I was a kid, we didn't listen to this or that kind of music. I knew some of them, like the Cathedrals and other bands, but I felt small being in this room with all these people God had used for years. What's the point of this? I'm just a little chocolate kid from the city center, something like that, and I just kept crying, sing a song for me. Bill had said, Over time, Lynda Randle is remembered not only as a gospel singing star, but also as a strong and religious person. In a world that wants everyone to be perfect, she has shown what real strength looks like when things go wrong. Life has its ups and downs, both in her personal and business life. This has helped her fans, who have looked up to her for years, connect with her even more. A lot of people look up to Lynda because she keeps her family, her faith, and her music front and center. She has shown that it's okay to have problems and be open about them. In fact, our strengths often shine through when we're at our best. For her, being able to keep going and moving forward, even when things don't look good, is what makes a real winner. People say she might go back to the stage, but she's still taking care of her health. Some fans can't wait for her to get back in the spotlight, but Lynda knows that her worth doesn't come from how well she performs or how many people cheer for her. The things that have really defined her legacy are her strong faith, her family, and the word she sends through her music. Everyone who has followed Lynda's story knows one thing: it's not over yet. This is true whether they have known her since the start of the Gaither Homecoming series or just found her songs now. She is famous for being both a singer and a symbol of hope. She shows us that no matter how hard life gets, our faith, our loved ones, and our drive can always make us strong. Her health has been hard, but it hasn't made her who she is. She will always be known for the love she gives, the hope she brings, and the strength of her words. Her fans will continue to support her, whether she's going back to the stage or living a quieter, more private life. They will be grateful for the gift of music and be inspired by how brave she is in the face of suffering.